Hi guys, I'm gonna do video 2 on the last one, but this time with Pocahontas braids. Just kidding. So the last video I talked about providing closure. You have to be the one that provides your own closure, and this is so true. I know that inside it's probably very likely that you have this feeling in you where you want some sort of resolution, some sort of closure, some sort of explanation for what happened, some understanding. You want some empathy with the narcissist. And here's the deal, dude. You can't go to somebody for empathy who has none. You can't go to somebody to fix the problem that they created. You're going to the dry well for water. You're going to the hardware store for a loaf of bread. Stop it. So, this idea that they are going to provide you anything is, they're not. They haven't. That's why you're exiting the relationship, because they've been dishonest. They've been gaslighting. They've been cheating. They've been lying. They've been manipulative. They've been, using stonewalling and silent treatment, and, they're superior, you're inferior. They've allowed you, they put you in the second-class citizenship position. But I would argue that you probably accepted it. If you're anything like me, which I have a lot of codependent traits, I accepted being in the second class position. I accepted that this person, they needed to feel superior to me, and they had this hidden grandiosity, and I accepted that I was dumber than him, that I wasn't as I wasn't as smart as him. My decisions weren't as good as his. I accepted this second class inferiority position. So, if you've accepted that, that's on you. Like, you don't have to accept second class citizenship with anyone. We are, I'm hoping for egalitarianism, and that's what I expect from my friends and from my family. So why should you settle for anything other in a relationship? But, we have to stop going to the narcissist for anything. I mean, apologies, sincere apologies, empathy, explanation, understanding, communication. These are all things that they were terribly unable to provide in their relationship. So what makes you think all of a sudden they're going to have a lobotomy and be able to provide these things to you now? So stop going to the narcissist for closure. And if this helps you, this is what I did. Actually, I got this from Richard Grannon. He helped me so much. Many of these, Ross Rosenberg, what's his name? Dr. Carter. So many excellent videos out there. Dr. Romani. But I learned from Richard Grannon this mantra, I will no longer go to someone for empathy who has none. I will no longer go to someone for closure who will not provide it for me. I had to say these mantras over and over again, and I provided my own closure. The day that you decide that you're done with the narcissist, that's when they're going to go away, when you have those strong boundaries. They're going to keep coming in for, supply. If they even think there's a tiny chance that they're going to be met with some sort of warm reception, right? Now, the exception to that is if you were with a sociopath. Sometimes sociopaths will literally just disappear and you'll never hear from them again. That's actually sort of common with sociopaths. But narcissists will tend to go back in for more supply. But once you have unmasked them, whether it be a sociopath or a narcissist, that creates a horribly narcissistic injury, and they don't like that. So if you've created a big enough narcissistic injury, they might not come back. But in general, these are people that are going to keep coming back to check and see, if there's a warm reception, or even a lukewarm reception, and just don't give it to them. You shouldn't even be getting emails or text messages or even hearing anything about them. If you're stalking them or their new source of supply on social media, shame on you. And I only say that because you're only hurting you. You are going to get triggered if you see anything about them. So it's just best to know nothing. Like I mentioned in the last video, like I have no idea. I have no clue what's going on with the person that I was with, because I just totally went no contact. I did it. I've done it. I stuck to it. And the only reason I did it is not because I'm some, ninja. It's because people before me, I listened to them. I listened to Richard Grannon. I listened to Dr. Romani when they were like, oh yeah, the importance of no contact. And I was like, what is this no contact thing? And I did like a deep dive, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got to break this trauma bond. I had this interesting experience of being able to break the addiction to alcohol like almost 15 years ago. And so because I knew how to break addictions, I was able to apply that same sort of methodology to this. And I had to do it with a lot of pragmatism. I'm so not pragmatic that I don't know how to say the word, but I had to like be very logical about it. And like, I just had to be like, no, no contact. I counted my days. I put an app on my phone called Habit Bull, and I started just counting my days of no contact. Just like in 12-step recovery, you count your days where you've had abstinence from alcohol or drugs, which is amazing. And you start, sort of rewarding yourself, like at 30 days, you can go out and have a nice dinner with a wonderful friend. You can go on a rock climbing trip or go skiing or whatever it is that you love. Like I started rewarding myself for no contact. And I was like, way to go, Kat, you got this, And it was an uphill battle, but I knew that I had so much freedom from separating myself from the alcohol addiction, 15 years ago. And I knew that even though it was really hard, and even though the first 90 days were really difficult, it was going to get easier, right? I knew that it was going to get easier. And now, like, I have no contact, and I don't even, it just doesn't occur to me. I don't even think about that person other than sometimes when I'm making the videos sort of just to reference like the situation, but I don't get triggered anymore. It's very, very rare that I get triggered. I just feel, not 100% in a position of neutrality, because I do think it is affecting like some of my other attempts at like being in a fully holistic, healthy relationship, but romantic relationship. But I definitely have like a lot of amazing friends, and I don't have that charge that I used to get anymore, that charge of either like rage or pain or anguish, grief. It just is mostly like gone for me. And so, I guess what this video is about is like, you have to provide your own closure. You have to be the one that's going to decide, I am no longer going to drink the vodka. I'm no longer going to have that toxic person in my life and drink from their elixir of toxicity. I am going to block them, and I don't owe them an explanation. Lord knows they certainly don't think they owe you an explanation. I do not owe them an explanation. I don't owe them anything. I just need to block them on every medium of communication. I need to absolutely have no idea what they're doing in their lives. I need to set very clear boundaries with all of the potential mutual friends. I need to X out of my life any of their flying monkeys, any of their family that participated and cultivated and helped to enable this abuser, because they know, the families know. They act like they don't know, but they absolutely know. And the families are like vampires. Like the new source of supply gets, this dog and pony show that you got in the beginning, like, oh, this person's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. They may get that, right? So the new source of supply is going to get that same treatment. And they're being bamboozled by this whole family system of dysfunction and toxicity. And sometimes flying monkeys don't know that they're flying monkeys. They just believe the narcissist. That's also possible. But you need to block all contact with the flying monkeys. And stop the excuses in your head of why you're not doing that. The real reason you're not doing that is because of your trauma bond. You're trauma bonded, and you have to break the trauma bond. Like, You know, I know it sucks because it's like cutting off an arm, because this person mirrored you. They basically, you know, sort of became you, and it does feel like you've lost an arm or an extremity. But it's very, very important that you go no contact, and you have to provide your own closure. You're never going to get it from them. You're never going to get empathy from somebody who doesn't have any. So I hope this video is helpful for you. And I might even have to do a third video with a little bit more tips on the practicality of how to do it. I just don't want to go over 10 minutes. Hope all is well, and I hope that you are practicing radical self-care. Bye-bye.